Good day, everyone. Today, I will going to discuss the following question. So, first is the major components of open loop control are executive and effector. This type of control system differ from the closed loop control. First, open loop control does not produce feedback and control action is free from the output, while the closed-loop control produces feedback and the output depends on the control action of the system. Tossing an empty soft drink can into a recycling bin. The input, the decision you made, so your decision is tossing an empty soft drink can into a recycling bin. And the production you made transmits to the effector. Ito yung kung paano mo ito-toast yung empty soft drink can into recycling bin, then pass to the effector. Effector, ito naman yung motor program, spinal cord, and the muscle. Sila naman bahala sa movement o yung pag-execute mo sa pagtutoast ng empty soft drink can into recycling bin. So, there's evidence support the existence of motor program. First is their differentiation research have shown that movements are possible without sensory feedback from the responding limb. Second, sensory information processing is too slow for effective moment-to-moment control in rapid movements. Third is research using electromyography or yung EMG to analyze pattern of movements. So, ayun yung evidence kung bakit yung motor program is na-exist. Reaction time and movement complexity. Movement and reaction time dependent on the complexity of the response. Ibig sabihin, mas tumataas yung reaction time kapag nadadagdagan ng movement or kapag tumatagal ito. Like for example, a brake press in a car with an automatic transmission requires a shorter reaction time than one in a car with a manual transmission because the latter task also require the pressure of the clutch. So, ibig sabihin, kapag yung kotse na ginamit mo is yung mano-mano, is mas nadadagdagan yung movements mo. So, ibig sabihin, is mas tumataas yung reaction time. Differentiation experiments, a surgical procedure in which an afferent sensory pathway is cut, preventing nerve impulses from the periphery from reaching the spinal cord. The result of early Lashley and more recent Taub and Berman differentiation research have shown that movements are possible without sensory feedback from the responding limb. Some movements, such as those involved in climbing, swinging, are controlled without feedback. In reaction time and movement complexity, according to the motor program theory, movements that are organized in advance should take longer to program if they are more complex. This longer programming time is presumably reflected in the longer reaction time found more complicated action. Humans produce novel movements by perform a variety of movements by applying different movement parameters. So, novel movements are possible to produce, and also when you never perform exactly same at any other time. According to the British psychologist Sir Frederick Bartlett, 1932, wrote this about his tennis stroke. When I make the stroke, I do not produce something absolutely new, and I never repeat something old. And the first part of Bartlett's statement suggests that a movement is never totally new. So, in other hand, movement is not totally new. Like for example, professional golfer perform golf swing in different ways like changing position which he never performed exactly the same at any other time. Generalized motor program is that a motor program for a particular class of actions is stored in memory and that a unique pattern of activity will result whenever the program is executed. It's mean ito yung naka-stored sa long-term memory natin which is this is the movement pattern. Generalized motor programs are important to the performer to adjust their movements to meet different environmental demands. For example, if she decides to throw the ball a long distance in a short as time as possible, the performer select a rapid movement time and a large movement amplitude. Since she is right-handed, the obvious limb choice for this type of throw is her right arm because it is presumably stronger. Once she has set these parameter values, the performer is ready to initiate and carry out the movements. So the performer easily adjusts in their movements by using generalized motor program. Performers are able to modify already learned movements pattern in order to meet changing environmental demands. In previous example about professional golfer, the generalized motor program might function to produce the performer novel movements. So first is the professional golfer receive and interpret sensory information. Ito yung stimulus identification stage. Then select a generalized motor program for golf swing. Then prepare the program for initiation. If she decides to swing fast or slow, she make this decision. The golfer estimate parameters values like movement time, movement amplitude, limb